We're coming off of Memorial Day weekend, and I decided to dive head first into healing from the past. Really feel like some big changes have been happening to me. I feel like I have one foot in a new world, one foot in an old world. And Memorial Day weekend for me was not lost on the idea of just go ahead and sifting through some memories. And I went back to a place that I had lived a long time ago and really haven't been. And I traveled through and thought about a lot of things, visited some things that were on my mind from that time period. In reality, I was expecting to have a lot more nostalgia and experience a lot more memories, but in many ways it's been so long that I don't even connect with it anymore. It was different. But as I was driving familiar roads, it was interesting how if I wasn't completely aware or self-conscious, it was strange how it almost felt like I'd just driven it yesterday, and it's probably been decades since I've driven some of those roads. The town has also changed a lot since I was there, and I'm speaking very vaguely about it because been one of the big messages of Spirit is to speak vaguely these days. Not exactly sure why, but it does feel like there's a bit of spiritual warfare happening, and this is part of the discernment that I speak of about really being obedient to Spirit about what to say and what not to say, having our tongues be obedient to Spirit, and not giving away too many personal pieces of information that we're so prone to do. And today, because I was feeling particularly vulnerable from the weekend, like I said, I didn't have many memories come back, but the ones that did were incredible. And then from an energetic place, I've been experiencing some very weird energies, some really weird frequencies that are kind of hitting me in the middle of the night and bringing up some fears. In particular, standing up to bullies, I think, has been a big theme for me. And so because of all of this, today I didn't want to come on here. I'll be honest with you. It felt very vulnerable to be here today. So that's why I wanted to switch gears, and instead of really getting into too specifics of what I've been dealing with, I want to listen to some music and talk about ways to clear this energy and to really stand grounded in my authority, that all things are possible through Christ. And this song in particular, How Can I Keep From Singing, is such a wonderful song to keep, every thought captive in these moments when it feels like I could spin off in some different directions. When I feel like I'm being pulled in some different directions, but none of it is really for my best interest. My best interest is to keep my eyes on the prize, looking towards restoration and healing and transcending and letting go, really, of these old energies that maybe feel like a bit of an undertow. Like if you let your toe get too far in the water, that you could get pulled under by some of these things swirling around. In the middle of all this, we had another freak storm come up. And so I don't know how much I'm being affected by this strange weather. And actually, I've heard there's going to be more solar flares. And as to whether or not they're already happening, and that's part of this strange feeling that I'm feeling, I can never say for sure. But I do know that I've heard that we're having these solar storms, and that there was a lot of evidence in the previous ones a few weeks ago that I was very affected by them energetically. I think one of the temptations when this happens is your brain wants to figure out why you feel what you feel, right? And in a certain sense, analyzation is good, but in another sense, there's a humility of recognizing that when you're in these strange energies, it could also be affecting your thoughts, right? And you could also try to think about things and see life through a filter that once these energies pass, or a solar flare kind of goes through, that you see everything completely differently. So seeing these as more like allowing fear, allowing thoughts to come up, but not attaching to them, letting them go instead, is the best way I think to handle this. And so I'm going to go ahead and do this right here live with you guys.